I tracked every dollar that it took to bring my pets from the US to Thailand, and here's the full breakdown. I'm Lalita, and welcome to my channel where I talk about international pet travel. I'm a veterinarian and I want to travel with my pets all the time, but sometimes finances just get in the way of it. I thought this time I will track the amount that it cost me to travel with my pets to Thailand. I'm going to break this down into 7 different type of cost or expenses. I would like to think about it as putting money in 7 different buckets. So the first bucket would be the veterinary cost, right? In terms of veterinary cost, is one of the most expensive things, especially in the US. The first time I went to the veterinarian, it cost me around $500 to $600. This was just the health checkup and annual vaccinations. You need the veterinarian for providing your health certificate. The USDA-accredited veterinarian is the one that gives you the official health certificate with which you can travel. The airlines, the importing country layover will need it. It is the most important document that you will need. To make sure that you get this document on time, you have to go to the veterinarian at least, I would say, 60 days in advance. If you want to do additional tests that might be recommended based on your destination country. For example, if you're going to Thailand, you would need the rabies vaccination and the FERCP vaccination for your pets. You can go through the details in their official USDA website. You need to get the certification within 10 days. This is the most trickiest part of my travel, and it was the most nerve-wracking as well, because you have only 10 days. You have to go to the veterinarian 10 days before your flight's departure, get your pet checked on the first day of that 10th day period, and then the veterinarian sends out a note saying that yes, this pet is fit to fly. The document is sent online and USDA veterinarian accredits it and sends you via post. But overall, initial health certificate will cost you around $500. And then again, when you go to the veterinarian for the 10-day health checkup, it costs me around $800. I'm giving you a ballpark, but I have also mentioned the actual numbers. Veterinary bucket, I would say keep at least $1,500 to $2,000. The second bucket is travel. It depends on the airlines. It also depends on whether you want to do cargo, a cabin, or check-in as a luggage. I flew with Qatar Airlines. Qatar Airlines had a fee of medium-sized crate, $350 per pet. I ended up spending around $700. This is dependent on the weight of the pet. They take into consideration the weight of the pet, whether the pet can be in cabin or it has to be going in as a carry-on. KLM Delta did allow pets up to 7 kilos in the cabin, but with the litter box that I wanted for my pets were about the weight limit. I do have an Excel sheet where I put in the cost of pets via different airlines. So I'll share that Excel sheet in the screen over here. The other thing that you have to consider while traveling is not only airline, but the ground transportation as well. I couldn't get a direct flight from the city that I was living in, so I had to drive to a different city. So my costs also included getting a car for rent, paying for gas, accommodation, because we had to go in a night before. So all these costs just add up to a lot. On top of that, I couldn't drive with my own car because I was going for a long time. So I had to rent a car. So that cost me around $400. So in total, you might want to keep around $1,000 to $2,000. Then the fourth bucket is the cost of documents. I've already talked about health certification. Now, when you arrive in Thailand, there are 2 types of documents that you would need to pay for. One is the import permit for your pets. So the import permit is something that you get at the AQS when you land. It's a quarantine center where you get your animal checked and you get the document for the import permit. It costs around 500 baht, maybe around $15. But once you clear from the AQS and you're going out of the airport, that's when you have to pay the entry permit fees for your pet into the Kingdom of Thailand. This fees is something that you pay at the border so that you can come in with your pets, and they make sure that this is a one-time fee. So your pet's microchip number is put on there, and so the next time you come to Thailand, you can enter without paying this entry permit fees. But you have to pay it the first time, and it cost me around 4,000 Thai baht, which is, I would say, a little bit more than $100, maybe $120. I'll put the actual numbers in the screen over here. Yeah, this again adds up. So around $150, I would say, for documentations in Thailand itself. So I talked about veterinary cost, the travel cost, accommodations. The fifth one is a time cost. The more time you spend traveling, the more money you're gonna pay. That's no brainer, but it just needs to be mentioned. If you can reduce the time from door to door, so the moment you leave your house door to the moment that you reach your destination's home door is the cost of travel. It's just not the airlines. So a lot of people talk about airline costs, but I think in terms of like pet travel, it's the cost of all these different things. One is the cat cost or the pet cost itself. The pet carrier that I got need to be like airline verified and everything. When you go to Qatar Airways and you give your pet's measurements, and they will tell you the minimum dimensions required for your crate. So I had to comply with that, and I had to get a crate that had those minimum dimensions. It ended up costing me around $200 to $250. And then there are additional things that pets needs, like you need disposable litter box, you need disposable litter material, few extra food bowls and water bowls. And also you need to get like pee pads so that you can put inside the crate so that when they pee, it's not like everything is wet. Towels and everything. But yeah, so this adds up to around $200 to $250. I would definitely say if you have a bigger pet, then it will cost you more because the crate size increases, everything increases, airline price increases as well. Depending on the size of a pet, the cost can vary, but anywhere between $200 to $300 is your pet carrier, crate, and other costs. And lastly, hidden cost. There might be times where you have to spend an extra night in the hotel, or you might have to check in early, so that cost adds up. And then logistics wise also, you have to plan it out or different things as well. So I created a simple budget template. If you want to have a look at it, link is in my bio. I don't know when it'll be up there, but it should be up there pretty soon. Last thing, the total cost. Drum roll. Okay, I think I spent around $4,000 on pet travel. I'll put the real numbers out here. So I'll put everything, all my totals from all the different buckets that I talked about in here. And that way you can see and anticipate these different costs and how they add up. When you don't anticipate it, it's very difficult. If you find this useful, like and subscribe to my channel, because I'll be talking a little bit more about logistics, how to prepare your pet for your travel, international travels, or even if you're traveling locally, you can help your pets to have a safe and comfortable travel. Because I'm a veterinarian, I'm also a pet parent, so I get the stress that a pet parent undergoes, but I also get a stress that a pet undergoes while travel. I'm just trying to share my experiences and my thoughts on international pet travel via this channel. I hope to see you on the next video. Bye.